Welcome back to News Tonight. Let's get down to some news from the world of business and the headlines from that sector. Well, the repo rate and the reverse repo rate have been hiked by 25 basis points. The RBI credit policy states that cash reserve ratio was left unchanged at 6%. The plan panel today said RBI's move to hike short-term rates is on the expected lines and is aimed at curbing inflation without hurting growth. But this move could only increase banks' commercial lending rates. Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee has emphasized on inflation and how it should be addressed as a key issue now on. And our business reporter Ashmit Kumar simplified this for us and said that this could just mean more bad news.
Reverse repo and the repo rate is the rate which the RBI charges the other banks, other private and PSU banks for transactions that take place between the RBI and the other private bank and PSU banks. What that now by raising these rates, what that effectively does is raises the cost of capital for these banks to raise, which in turn gets translated into more expensive loans. And this seen in the context of today's provisions where RBI has said that only 80% of the loan amount will be provided by the bank and the rest of the 20% has to be furnished by the customer. Again, this in the context of more expensive capital. Also the fact that loans beyond 75 lakh rupees, the risk weightage for that has been increased to 125% from 100% currently as it was. So all of this makes the situation very difficult for people to require to actually get housing loans, which in turn is likely to impact the housing sector.
In some national news from Jammu and Kashmir, Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has defended the accession remarks that created a huge row recently. He went on to say that not only did Pakistan have to be spoken to, even militant leaders should be engaged.
I may not agree with what Salahuddin says. I may not agree with what Salahuddin does. But should I deny that he has an opinion that has relevance to Jammu and Kashmir? And if he doesn't have, then why did we talk to them way back in 2000?
Now, ahead of President Obama's visit, Foreign Secretary Nirupama Rao has said the US-India relation has sustained momentum in recent months and that his visit will reflect a continuity in the bond.
I believe there can be three basic organizing principles for a sustained and strong long-term partnership. Shared values will be the bedrock of our relationship. It creates comfort in our ties and minimizes the possibility of any fundamental disagreement between the two countries. But beyond that, success of the world's two largest democracies and a strong relationship between them will remain the best advertisement for our shared values. Today, however, we are at a stage in our relationship where we can give concrete shape to our partnership based on shared democratic values, for example, in reforming the global institutions of governance to make them representative of contemporary realities and weighted in favor of democratic values, and also in working together to strengthen democratic institutions and capabilities in fellow democracies.
We're moving to news from the world of sports. In an exclusive interview to NDTV, Sunil Gavaskar has cleared the air on the Kochi controversy, and in doing so, he made the most sensational revelation that the BCCI hasn't paid him for his services he rendered to the IPL Governing Council for 3 years of the tournament. He also denied that he had any links with the Kochi IPL franchise and that it was impossible for him to have interfered in a sealed bid. Sani added that he had no conflict of interest whatsoever with the Kochi franchise.
And all I've been doing is that I've just been sending a gentle reminder about the non-payment. And I've just been told that Mr. Pawar will organize a meeting between Shashank and me in his presence to sort out the matter. And that for me is good enough. So I'm not demanding anything. I'm just reminding them of what was offered to me and what was committed to me by the BCCI. That's it. I have not demanded anything.
And they haven't paid you in all these 3 years? Whatever the offer was that they made to you?
They haven't. But which I'm hoping that, with this meeting with Mr. Pawar, Mr. Manor, it'll be sorted out.
Dare we ask you what the offer was?
Well, Vikram, come on, never ask a woman her age and never ask a man, what he gets.
That's why I asked you. Dare I ask what it is?
Now, you tell me, when it comes to anything on cricket or IPL related thing, who would you go to? You would not go to the English Premier League to ask for some advice. You would not go to the Premier Hockey League for advice. You wouldn't go to the Atomic Energy for advice on how to get a franchise or how viable it is. You would go to somebody who is in the IPL.
Now, the popular H-2B working visa is back in the news. This time around, details of massive fraud and abuse of this popular work visa program have been made public by a government report. In one of such cases, more than 87 Indian nationals paid at least $20,000 each to enter the US illegally. The report details 10 cases of wrongdoings that showed violations in areas such as unfair wages for employees, excessive fees charged to employees, and fraudulent documentation submitted to federal agencies to circumvent program rules. Now, you would have heard of or maybe even be a part of Go Green campaigns. Perhaps you are one of those who believe in using eco-friendly articles like clothes and bags. But how about celebrating an eco-friendly Diwali? Well, our environment reporter Cuckoo Alex takes a look at the customers' take on Diwali Doom.
Diwali is usually a disastrous time for the environment, with smoke and noise filling the air. But not wanting to be a party pooper, we decided to look for an alternate way to enjoy Diwali. And we chanced upon eco-friendly crackers. These crackers cost 100 to 150 rupees more than the usual ones. They produce no smoke and sound only below 105 to 125 decibels. And they simply expel paper and glitter when they burst.
புகவராத பட்டாசுகள் எங்கிட்ட நல்ல விற்பனை நல்லா இருக்குது. நல்ல மூவிங் இருக்குது. கஸ்டமர்ஸ் அதிகமாக வாங்கிட்டு போறாங்க. நல்ல விற்பனை இருக்கு இந்த வருஷம்.
Some citizens though remain their skeptical selves.
I don't think I'll pick an eco-friendly cracker because one is the cost and number two, we don't actually know whether it's proven, whether it's really eco-friendly and what will be the impact.
If I burst crackers, I'll go for a eco-friendly crackers only. If it is for my children, they'll go for definitely a louder one.
My ears are ringing and I cannot imagine how much smoke there would be if that whole box of bombs were burst there. I think I'm going to stick with the eco-friendly crackers this time. In Chennai, wishing you a happy and safe Diwali. Cuckoo Alex for NDTV Hindu.
Well, Cuckoo, they're setting a green footprint. Now, building a house is as difficult as making a movie, says a lot of film directors. But when it comes to making a 3D film, the challenges are all the more. We have seen action, adventure films on 3D, but imagine a movie full of dance to be on 3D. Well, this Diwali will make movie buffs break a leg.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Street Dog Final!
The beats, the moves, the jumps and the twists, it's all on 3D. Watch young American dancers try the street-style dance, a first-of-its-kind entertainer. Sensational dancing, funky music and romance all play their part in this upbeat, crowd-pleasing film about passion and dreams. A cut above the usual dance movie, there is a twist to this story, quite literally.
I see you've made yourself at home. Unlimited access to rehearse here for your competition.
The choreography in the film is set to break all records. Apparently, one of Collywood's well-known actor and dancer wants to remake this film. For now, you could watch the dubbed version in Tamil, which releases on Diwali Day. After all, Diwali and dance are not strangers. In Chennai, with Lalit Jude, Ramanathan for NDTV Hindu.
Well, that's something we need to look out for then. With that, we wrap News Tonight. Thanks so much for being with us.